You want to win, huh? You want to be the villain in a world that only rewards the fake heroes? Then listen closely. Shut your mouth. That's right. Show them no reaction. The moment you flinch, the moment you respond, the moment you break your silence, they win. But if you can master the art of not reacting, if you can sit there with that sinister little smirk like you know something they don't, oh my friend, their power dies right there. Because their power ends where your silence begins. They try to provoke you, don't they? Push your buttons. They want a twitch, a scream, a crack in your composure. They want you to explode because your chaos makes them feel calm. Your pain gives them purpose. But what happens when you give them nothing? What happens when your enemies speak and you don't even blink? When the gossipers whisper and you don't even flinch? When the world screams for your downfall and all they get is your silence, they break one by one. Because silence is not weakness. It's strategy. It's power. It's warfare in its purest form. You see, they're addicted to your attention. That's what feeds them. The moment you react, even with anger, even with pain, you're telling them, you got me. But when you walk through the fire and don't make a sound, you're untouchable. They don't know what's going on inside that mind of yours. That unpredictability, that's terrifying. You want real power? Learn to play the quiet game. Learn to be a good room full of noise. Learn to smirk while the world burns around you, not because you enjoy the chaos, but because you finally learned not to be controlled by it. They poke, they prod, they throw stones, but if you don't flinch, the stones hit nothing but shadows. You become the enigma, the monster they can't figure out, the storm that won't announce itself, the war they can't win. They want to manipulate you with words, control you with guilt, trigger you with jabs. But what happens when you're emotionally bulletproof? You think the Joker lost his mind? No, he just stopped giving people the satisfaction of watching him crack. He flipped the script. They thought he was weak until he stopped reacting. And then they were terrified. That's the secret. Silence isn't absence. It's presence. It's dominance. It says, I don't need to explain myself. I don't owe you a reaction. Your opinions, your attacks, your lies, they die in my silence. You want peace? Don't chase it. Be it. Let the storm scream outside your window while you sip your coffee in the dark. Smile while they scream. Laugh while they lie. And say nothing. Because the moment you rise to their bait, you lose. But when you're still calm, cold, collected, they lose their minds trying to get yours. They can't handle your stillness. They can't stand the fact that you don't fold. So they'll increase the pressure. They'll turn the dial up to 11. They'll try harder, louder, dirtier. But no matter how loud they get, you say nothing. Because silence is the loudest scream. Understand this, when people can't manipulate you, they'll try to provoke you. And when that doesn't work, they'll fear you. That's real power. Not violence, not rage, but unshakable composure. The kind that makes people question their own sanity. That's when the tables turn. You become the puppet master, not the puppet. They throw labels at you: toxic, cold, crazy, Why? Because you didn't respond the way they wanted. You didn't beg. You didn't explain. You didn't validate their insecurities. You just stood there, still, silent, smiling. They hate that. They hate when you don't bleed from their knives. But listen, this world, it rewards reaction. Social media, gossip, fake news. It's all built on who cracks first. They want outrage, they want drama, they want chaos. Don't give it to them. Be the villain in their story, if it means peace in yours. They want you to respond to every insult, every betrayal, every slap in the face. They want war, and they want you to be the one who starts it. But you're smarter, you're colder, you're strategic. You know the real revenge is not to react. It's to become so silent, so unbothered, that they start to wonder if they ever mattered. Your silence becomes your shield, your armor, sword, and suddenly you're untouchable. They call you heartless. Let them. They call you arrogant. Let them. They call you fake. Let them. Because what they're really saying is, we couldn't break you. You stopped playing their game. You stopped dancing for their applause. You stopped reacting to their circus. And now, they can't reach you. Let them talk. Let them scream. Let them try everything in the book. You just sit there, calm as a bomb, knowing they're wasting their breath. They can't pull strings that don't exist. And you burned your strings long ago. Because every reaction is a reveal. It shows them where it hurts. It shows them where to hit next. But when you give them nothing, they hit empty air. They exhaust themselves swinging at a ghost. And you just sit back and smile. You're not heartless. You're healed. You're not cold. You're controlled. You're not distant. You're disciplined. And that's the end game. So next time they lie, they laugh. Let them drown in confusion. Because their power ends exactly where your silence begins.